It's been no week to be the boss, but the longest one club manager turns royal blue again. An abbreviated weekend is still short and sweet for Grimsby, Watford and Sheffield United. We reminisce with Hugh Johns, the commentator still talking a good game at 72, about his magic moments and the great masters.
Rivellino, what's Pele now? What a beautiful goal from Pele! El Rey Pele!
And stand by for some straight talking on the growing possibility of a Premiership Second Division. Some Endsleigh League chairmen are rumoured to have been discussing a breakaway league. Others, like Southend United's Vic Jobson, aren't happy about it.
We had 100 years of the Football League. If this did occur, it would destroy it.
But in an amazing week on the managerial merry-go-round, we'll begin up at Boundary Park and Oldham Athletic against Luton Town. David Pleat called it the most difficult decision of his career. After 8 days, he finally decided a return to Tottenham wasn't for him. By which time the league's longest one-club manager had moved on. Defeated Arsenal last Wednesday was Joe Royle's last match. After 12 years in charge at Oldham, the chance to go back to Everton was too great to resist.
It's been a very, very strange 2 days for me. I've been buzzing and tingling over the whole thing. The prospects here, also the emotional side of leaving Oldham after 12 years, and they've been marvellous to me, and there were a lot of sad goodbyes this morning, but that's the past and this is the future, and the sooner we get on with it, you know, the better it'll be.
And with assistant Willie Donachie gone to Goodison as well, Graham Sharp took temporary charge at home to Luton. But nothing much changed on the pitch. For all their effort, Oldham were heading for their fourth goalless draw in a row at home, and their frustration at failing to find the net again culminated in Gunnar Haller's petulant kick and a red card, even though teammate Richard Graham seemed to have triggered things off. For Luton Town, still beaten just once away from home all season, and with David Pleat back and fully committed to the cause, things look rather more promising.
We're very pleased that he's staying, the players, and hopefully we can get on with the job now. And I think in this division anybody can go up and win the championship or get in the playoffs.
So on current form, Grimsby Town must be fancying their chances. Losing your manager doesn't always signal a decline. And caretaker boss John Cockerell's fourth win in 5 was secured by Neil Woods, swooping in just after half-time to beat Casey Keller. And but for Keller's brilliance, it would have been worse for Millwall soon after. But the American goalkeeper does superbly to tip over Steve Livingston's shot from close range. But as the second half wore on, Richard Cadet and Dave Mitchell did cause problems at the other end. And after Mark Kennedy's jinking run down the left, Mitchell does have the ball in the net, but it's disallowed for pushing. Grimsby are up to 5th, and Cockerell must be closer to a permanent job.
Well, you'd like to think so. All I ask of my players, which will be the same against Stoke next week, is to go out there and do the very best for this football club. If the results come, they come. If they don't, you know, and as long as they've done their best, that's all I ask.
Sunday's live game at the Valley produced plenty of incidents, but no winner. The commentary is from Alan Parry and David Pleat.
Leeburn in there again to win it back and find Robson, the former West Ham and Spurs winger, getting a good dangerous ball into the box. Paul Marden with the clearance. Charlton force the first corner. Good little player, Mark Robson. He's been a bit erratic lately, but a quality player. And that ball was intended for him and came back to him. And that was a marvellous save by Naylor to prevent Robson scoring the first goal of the game within 2 minutes. Hold on a second as Kim Grant gets a rebound, and it's a rebound that has produced the first goal of the game. 13 minutes gone, Marden dismayed at his ill fortune, but Kim Grant celebrates his good luck and celebrates his 5th goal in the last 8 games.
That was good anticipation by Grant to get in behind. When the first ball was being flicked, it was that big long ball down the middle, direct football, Leeburn's header, but Grant was quickly looking for the ball behind, He had a bit of fortune, but in the first place he knew that once Leaburn was jumping, he had to anticipate in the space behind. Great start for Charlton.
There's McCleary. Leaburn climbing highest again, and it comes back to him. That was a good save again from Stuart Naylor to deny Carl Leaburn. He's playing really well at the moment, the West Brom goalkeeper. Phelan. It's a clumsy ball straight to Robson, who skips over the tackle and finds Leaburn. Grant in a good position, far edge of the box. He looked for him. Robson, 2-0. However, it's been ruled out because the linesman has flagged for offside, and even before he could enjoy his celebrations, Robson is disappointed.
Well, my first thought there is sympathy for Charlton. We see this again. Phelan makes a mess of his pass. Robson skips away from him, goes through the middle. When Leaburn is released, he does the right thing. He tries to cross it hard and low, bisect the last defender and the goalkeeper. There we see it go in as it's cleared away, quite clearly as Robson drives it in. Well, that's close because two defenders between the man and the goal, one of whom may be the keeper. I think Charlton have been very unfortunate there not to get the second goal.
And he goes up front now to partner Taylor and gets his first touch straight away. Edwards. Heggs. Ashcroft. Good ball to Heggs. And a good cross. And there's the equaliser. And who else but Bob Taylor?
Well, they talk about inspired substitutions. That was one. Heggs was involved 3 times in that move. Fine volley by Taylor. But it was Heggs' determination, and Ashcroft, a very good reverse ball by Ashcroft. Give him credit here. As you see him come in and reverse that ball, Heggs lets it run, and he puts it behind the defenders who are all running back to protect their goal. May have got a slight deflection, but the hit was clean and the volley was nicely taken.
Heggs in support. It was a tight little ball for him, but he's done well again here, Heggs. And Ashcroft coming in again! And for the second time in a matter of minutes, Lee Ashcroft has had a great chance with a header to give West Brom the lead. On to Leaburn, chance here for Charlton. Leaburn! Well, it's all about positioning, isn't it? And Parsley took up the perfect position to get Leaburn's, it has to be said, rather tame effort away from his own goal line.
After one step forward at Portsmouth a week earlier, another step backwards for Derby County and Roy McFarland. 2 touches by the crossbar set up Nathan Blake for Sheffield United's opener. And Dave Bassett's side were on their way to a place in the top half, and their second league win in a row, which hasn't happened too often this season. Dane Whitehouse is one of United's biggest assets, and their hope now is that Dave Bassett will be able to strengthen other parts of the side around him. Because the United chairman, Reg Brearley, finally seems to have had enough. By the time debutant goalkeeper Billy Mercer collided with Lee Carsley and Paul Simpson put away the penalty for Derby, the biggest talking point at Bramall Lane was Brearley's decision to sell his majority shareholding. He revealed the news in a special half-time announcement. Manchester businessman Mike MacDonald is the favourite to buy Brearley's shares.
He's been prepared to sell the club in the 7 years I've been here. He did sell it once to Mr. Woolhouse. He's come back and he's intimated that, you know, if the right person comes along and pays the right price for the shares and he feels he's the right man for Sheffield United, he would do that. Obviously, he's got that prerogative because he's the major shareholder with 52%. Really, that doesn't affect me either way. You know, at the end of the day, you know, the directors make their decisions. If Mr. Brearley wants to sell the club and he feels it's in his interest and the club's interest, that's his decision. It's nothing to do with me.
Southend United will tell you referee Jim Rushton had the biggest influence over the result at Watford. Early in the second half, Southend's Andy Thompson caught Gerard Lavin late. He'd already been booked, so off he went. The 10 men battled on, and Mr. Rushton was playing his 5th minute of injury time when Watford broke through. Commentary from Gary Bloom.
Porter, another late charge for Watford.
Hessenthaler's arriving here. Nogan! He scored and won the game! It comes 4 minutes into injury time at the end of the match. Hessenthaler headed back across the face of goal, and Lee Nogan, with his 8th goal of the season, means Watford surely have won this one. My goodness, they left it late. But that bullet header by Lee Nogan, who's now scored 6 goals in his last 7 games, has sent the home side into delirium.
Just moments later, the Southend manager Peter Taylor had to be restrained by the Watford manager Glenn Roeder, who probably prevented him doing something he might have regretted.
I just really reacted to what I thought was going to happen, and after myself being up at the FA on 6 or 7 occasions last year, I didn't think I wanted Peter Taylor going up there.
Only 5 games played, but a few significant adjustments at the top. Grimsby move up to 5th, Watford jump up to 7th, and Sheffield United hit the top half in 9th. And the only change at the other end is the point for West Brom, but they're still 2nd from bottom. Well, like all Southend supporters, Chairman Vic Jobson didn't enjoy the game at Watford too much, and he hadn't been in a great mood when he arrived. His problem, all the speculation about a Premiership 2nd Division. A 16-strong league comprising big clubs relegated from the Premiership and clubs with big ideas from the Endsleigh League. A concept, says Mr Jobson, that's a real threat, and which in recent weeks has become more than just a rumour.
There's clubs like, I won't mention names, but quite large clubs in the 1st Division that are saying, well, hold on, we can't be at the bottom of this league. We could end up in the lower division. And they don't want it. There's clubs like very big clubs that we daren't mention that are very near the bottom or through points adjustments are in the Premier League. They don't want to drop into the abyss of the Football League because they're feared of it. It's something that should be scotched, should be shut, because it's not fair on the supporters, it's not fair on the Football League. Because the Football League have got to try and create sponsorships and situations with TV contracts coming up. They've got to get that scotched, and the governing body should say once and for all, this will not happen.
But not everyone feels quite as threatened. By the end of the season, Watford will have turned Vicarage Road into an all-seater stadium fit for the Premiership, where they believe they still have a role to play. Elton John's money and ambition helped Watford to the top in the early 80s, and being part of a Premiership 2nd Division could speed up a return.
Watford would be one of, I think, probably 20-odd clubs who would have genuine aspirations. You can probably name them. We would probably not be in the 6 or 8 major ones, obviously, but there are probably 20, and it could even be more than that, clubs who, at some stage, if they get their act together, are perfectly capable of challenging at the top level. And we have to think about that as a mainstream issue.
3 years ago, the Football League were assured there would not be a breakaway by top clubs, and there was. That's why Vic Jobson wants all the discussion out in the open this time to force a decision. But in football's brave new world, other clubs might not be quite as keen to say no just yet.
I'm not a conspiracy theory man. I think the debate's inevitable. The debate about whether or not there'll be a Premier Division, 2nd Division, would be an inevitable debate over the next year or so.
They should stand up and say, football is more important than anything. And let everybody know what the situation is for a long time in the future. We had 100 years of the Football League. If this did occur, it would destroy it.
Really?
It would destroy it. So it mustn't happen.
Well, in last week's competition, with just 5 games scheduled, we asked you to guess the team to score the earliest goal. The answer arrived on Sunday at the Valley in the shape of Kim Grant's 13th minute goal for Charlton, which was good news for the 10 winners below who opted for the London side. And you all win a copy of the new Endsleigh League Directory. This week we've got 5 pairs of tickets to an Endsleigh League game of your choice on offer. Just tell us who's the striker scoring here against Portsmouth, and with which Endsleigh League club did he begin his professional career? That's the goal scorer and his first club. Send your answers to Endsleigh League Extra, London Sports Network, London SE99, 6YW. Coming up, our very own fantastic voyage back to the 60s, 70s and 80s, and a very special guided tour. Don't miss it. Welcome back. Well, the FA Cup first round meant no second or third division league action this weekend, and a rare afternoon off for one man. He's not a player or a manager, but for the last 40 years he's been working with the very best. And if you don't recognise the face, you'll probably know the voice.
Morgan, Crowland outside him on the right. Doesn't need to use him. Aston trying to set it up for Best! Oh, yes, indeed! Oh, what a nice bit of work. What a good goal. What a good goal. That wasn't even an opportunity of saying what a good shot. That was a goal from the time it left Brooking Street. McDermott making a run down here, and he's onside too. And the little chip's all it needed. And McDermott delivers it. Oh, yes, he enjoyed that one. That was the mark of a master craftsman.
The tones of Hugh Johns have been livening up living rooms for 4 decades now, a commentary career that began at the beginning of soccer on the box in the early 60s.
There was only Ken Wolstenholme. You know, everybody was, football-wise, Ken Wolstenholme was the man. And indeed he was. There's no doubt about it. He was great. And so you had to find a way of, if you were going to do it, of beating Ken, or doing something that Ken hadn't thought of. And for a long, long time before I ever got the chance of doing commentary, I could hear myself in my mind when I was watching football matches newspaper-wise. I could hear myself describing things and felt, yeah, I think I could do this. I think I could do this.
And in 1966 came the big break. Hugh was selected for ITV's World Cup coverage and was behind the microphone on England's greatest day.
Bobby Moore. Beckenbauer sticking close to Charlton. Overath bringing down Moore. It's his second foul inside a minute and a half. Moore chipped down. Hurst, a chance, a goal! It's there! It's there! What a great moment for young Geoff Hurst.
Not bad, but it could have gone more smoothly. Deep into extra time came the commentator's nightmare.
Alan Ball. Hurst here now. Hurst. Yes! No, they haven't given it. The linesman says no goal.
My memory tells me that I gave it a go, wallop. And then I was suddenly aware that this crazy Russian linesman, I catch him out of my corner of my eye, and he's there holding his flag up. But there's this hold up now, and it seemed to be about 10 minutes. It probably wasn't as long as that, but it seemed to go on forever before the referee finally ran back to the centre circle and said it was a goal. Oh, but it leaves the commentator with egg on his face because he doesn't know what's happening. It was a fabulous day, though, and I remember being totally washed out at the end of it. A lot of people went off to parties and that sort of thing. I went back to the Hendon Hall and had 3 large gins and went to bed. I was absolutely exhausted.
Mexico 1970 was next, probably the greatest World Cup and perhaps the greatest team.
They were a thrilling side. With Pelé, of course, what a player he was. Of all my memories, I think to have been able to have seen Pelé in the flesh doing so many beautiful things with a football.
Gerson, as Pelé is running. Is Pelé? Pelé now! Yes, there it is! That is the touch of a master! Costello, Pelé. Right through the wall. How about that one then? Pelé. Is Herzino. Oh, and Costello in now. Pelé. Oh, yes! With the soul in his boot, Pelé puts that one in there. Rivellino. Watch Pelé now. What a beautiful goal from Pelé. El Rey Pelé. 100 goal for Brazil.
That moment, oh, I mean, everybody talks about it, don't they? The save that Gordon Banks made from him. Pelé was big enough to applaud Banksy for that save. When he knew that it was a goal from the moment that he got his head to it, there was no way anybody was going to stop that.
There goes Cancino, he's onside. That's a good cross ball, it's Pelé! And a fantastic save by Banks! What a fantastic save by Gordon Banks!
I've seen Gordon many times since then. He's got videos of it, and he says even now, every time he sees it, he knows that ball's going in. There's nobody going to save it, he says. That is a goal.
Back to 1974 then, and I think a player that you regard as the greatest of all players. He didn't win that time, but he was part of an excellent Dutch team.
Johan Cruyff. I'd be very, very surprised. Certainly in the whole of the time that I've been involved in either watching, writing about or commentating on football, I don't think I've ever seen a better player than Johan Cruyff. And I would include Pelé in that. I mean, Pelé was brilliant, but Cruyff was a master, a craftsman. Everything he did, he was a leader of men on the field. He was a contributor to everything that was great about that Holland side.
Knocks it again for Krol. Cruyff is in the middle, and he's there! What a beautiful goal, 2-0. Johan Cruyff, the master. Renton Brignan for Van Hanegem. Cruyff, and he's all right. He's all right for number 1. Johan Cruyff.
Argentina 78 made it 4 World Cup finals in a row, but Hugh's bread and butter work was in the Midlands during some vintage years in the 70s.
Those were the great days. I think a lot of people watching today's football wouldn't recognise what we had in the 70s. There was skill, entertainment, cutthroat football. Everything that you want from football, they had then. I don't think they were racing around at 1,000 miles an hour like they are today. There were characters in the game. There were elegant players in the game. And there was fun, there was entertainment.
Which team of all teams during that period in the Midlands is the one that you most fondly remember and most enjoyed commentating on?
Well, I don't know. There's 2 or 3, really. Derby, I suppose, would have to be top of the list, with first Brian Clough and then Dave Mackay. Gosh, there were some players they had there.
Cross ball, Simpson, and Hector! McGovern has scored it! John McGovern gets his first goal of the season! Big Roger Davis. And it's come for Hinton, and he can whack it from there. Oh yes! That will do for Alan Hinton! Hinton, Webster, Hinton the cross now. Oh yes! McFarlane! Right on the post! It's 3-0! We want 4 is what the crowd is shouting. Hinton might just be the man to deliver it for them. And that is Hector! And they've got their 4! How about that? Wilson again, terribly exposed. So this dead ball specialist, Hinton. Far post, and that's Davis! That's another one! Roger Davis scores his first ever league goal! And another tragedy for Bob Wilson and the Arsenal defence.
Now, Dugan, there was a character. Every team had a character in those days, and Dugan with his Mohican haircut and outrageous garbs and whatever. You remember those sort of things.
Good running by the fullback. And Dugan, a fantastic goal! What an incredible goal by Derek Dugan!
Frank Worthington. Now, you couldn't have a bigger character in football than Frank Worthington. Gets dressed up in his Elvis gear on the anniversary of Elvis' death, taking tap dancing lessons.
aiming for Stringfellow. Samuels on for Worthington. The touch. Oh, beautiful goal. Oh, yes, indeed. Frank Worthington, 1-0.
Jimmy Greenough. Now, there was a fella who could hit goals for you from anywhere in the park. He could hit screamers in.
Jimmy Greenough.
The big occasions also stretched to 2 FA Cup finals and 2 European Cup finals, including Manchester United's emotional victory over Benfica.
For me, that was the night that George Best solidified so many things in so many people's minds. He and Bobby Charlton particularly have always been treasured memories to me of the great Manchester United sides. And to see Georgie pick up the European Cup medal that night with Matt, I remember Matt with tears in his eyes, that so much had gone wrong in the years previously, and that night against Benfica, it had all come absolutely right. Beautiful evening.
It's not quite as comfortable these days, age 72, commentating in all weathers at the wrong end of the Endsleigh League for HTV Wales. But the enthusiasm and the voice seem to be as strong as ever.
I'm the wrong side of 70 now, and I smoke between 20 and 30 fags a day, and have done for 60 years. And I'm one of Mr. Gordon's best customers, along with Brain's dark beer, which is our best brew in Wales. All these things, I suppose, help to lubricate the throat and keep it in action. I don't really know.
And it's all gone a bit quiet here at Ninian Park now, as this could be something for Edwards. Oh, it is. Oh, good gracious me. Cardiff City have blown it. What a fine game John Hendry's had. All on his own a lot of the time, and Bowen is in. Surely. Yes! That's done it. That's the first home win of the season in the league. You can bet your boots on that. 12 is Farrell, 14 Spearing. Now, I've got some quick work to do, so I'll be with you as quickly as I can.
I enjoy what I do. I love going to the games. I love talking with people in the games. I love learning about the game. You never stop learning in this trade. And I hope I put something back with the words that I dress games up with.
Well, if that's not enough, coming up now, a classic quartet from the ITV archives. First stop, November 1969, and a Manchester derby that makes rather more pleasant viewing for City fans than last week's.
Tony Book with the free kick. Law. Vardo. Ball back onside. Neil Young. And it's there! Neil Young! 1-0. Kidd. Tony Dunn. Kidd again. Dunn staying up there. And cut out very well by Alan Oakes. Chance for City to break. Bell on his right. It's 4 against 3. Burns has come back to make the fourth one. Bell. And it's there. Fine goal by Bell. Summerby. Lee in the middle. Booyah! Own goal! An own goal by Sadler. Stepney. 2 minutes to go now. Accidental handball by Lee. Neil Young. From that same angle, And it's a good one. Lee, no! Brilliant! Bell the scorer. Colin Bell.
Oh, and a break on for Hibbett. Have to hurry. Talbot's coming back to him. It's on for the shot. Left-footed. What a beautiful goal! Oh! What a smasher! Hibbett! 5 minutes into the first half. Hibbett breaking in on goal on that one error by Ipswich and hammers a beautiful left-footed drive past Lorisivo. 1-0 Wolves. Talbot, lots of time to lift it in. Good head out by McCall. Hugh Johns. Still chooseful. Wymark stopped. Woods. It's a goal. It's an equaliser. Clive Woods has got it. It looked very much as though the ball took a couple of deflections to get past Parks. But it's 1-1. 31 minutes gone. There's the corner. It's a good one. And it's in there. What a fine goal. Munro. That went in like a rocket off Munro's head. 2-1 Wolves. So that corner floating over from Farley. And Munro bulleting the header into the net.
And again, it's a long one. And is that over the line? It is. It's a goal for Wilkinson. 10 minutes gone. Paul Wilkinson puts Grimsby ahead, and all credit to the referee, who was in a perfect position. Lund again managing to get his head to it. Pender knocks it away. Oh, chance for Ford here, trying to get round Barnes. What an extraordinary own goal. Oh, dearie, dearie, dearie. David Barnes scores the perfect own goal. Flowers is disconsolate, and Wolves really have been asking for it because they've caused themselves so many problems. Ford puts Barnes under pressure and he loops it almost to perfection under the bar. And that ball getting through to Lund via Ainscough. They're still battling for it with Foley. Now Bonnyman won't quite get through to Ford. It will now from the ricochet, and Ford now racing onto Lund's pass inside the area. Oh, wrestle off it. That's a penalty. That's a penalty against John Pender. So Mr. Simpson points to the spot, and Phil Bonnyman makes it 3-0. Oh, what an extraordinary penalty. Ryan's corner. It's a long one, and Batch makes a good punch, only as far as Ainscoe's hit the bar once already. Haven't stopped Ainscoe's shot, in fact, although I don't think he was going anywhere near. Oh, and here's a real chance for Tommy Langley. 3-1. So the substitute pays dividends within minutes of coming on. Oh, that pass has left a real chance here for number 4. Oh, he's going to have to slip it back now. Perhaps taken too long. Delayed too long. Young Lund. Oh, must be a goal though. Well, Lund delayed too long, but when he finally hit the ball across, there was Kevin Drinkle. And that is number 4. Bonnyman, lovely ball to Ford, who's got all the penalty area to go out here. Tony Ford, he's got number 5. Oh, isn't he pleased? And if anybody deserves a goal today, it's Tony Ford.
Paul Wright is taking the penalty and scoring it. Blasting it high above Grobbelaar's dive. Barnes will take the kick himself. Against David Seaman. 1-1. Well, it's approaching the 30 yards from Grobbelaar's goal. He set up a 3-man wall. And Paul Wright tries to get past it, and does! Sinton. He's left Whelan. He's drawn Hussein across so that Falco can shoot brilliantly. What a goal! Barnes. It's 3-2. Trevor Francis is embraced by his wife Helen, and that says it all.
Ahead on ITV this weekend, the Champions League special this Saturday at 1:10. On Sunday, Meridian viewers can see highlights of Reading's game at Southend at 2:40. Live on Sunday in the Granada and Yorkshire regions, Burnley versus Sheffield United. It kicks off at 3, while Central, LWT and Tyne Tees viewers can see the clash of the top two, Middlesbrough and Wolves. And that match will be fully reflected, of course, on Endsleigh League Extra next week when there's a full programme once again in Divisions 1, 2 and 3. Join us for all the news and, of course, all the goals. Bye-bye for now.
Endsleigh League Extra was sponsored by Endsleigh, providers of motor insurance. We're in a league of our own.